friendship on hold.
Hello, everybody. This is the THD Justin. I'm here to talk about on my review on the new MCU Avengers Infinity War. I know what you've been going through. We've been waiting this movie for a year now, since Age of Ultron, since it was first announced its title. I was very far excited, so I couldn't wait to tell you about this. I saw this movie a day after its release on April 27th. In the theater, there's a lot of people talking in anticipation of the movie, the who's gonna live and who's gonna die. I was so nervous. In the opening part of the movie, I was so anticipated what happened to the Asgardians in the ship after Thanos intercepted them. But unfortunately, they did not survive a happy fate. They were killed instantly by him, Thanos, and also the Black Order. Who are the Black Order? They're more like Thanos' posse to spread death and destruction. So Thor was weakened and our favorite god Heimdall was injured. Heimdall is also one of my favorite Asgardians since in Thor he looks so good, intimidating, and cool. I was touched when Heimdall opened the Bifrost to let Hulk escape to Earth to warn the threat of Thanos, and his death was very tragically to see him like stand strong throughout the MCU films he's been. It was so heartbreaking to see him die. For Loki, to see our favorite villain and trickster to die, Thanos, like Loki was believed to be dead in Thor, but only to came back in Avengers. Then he confirmed to be dead in Thor Dark World, only to discover he's been alive as Odin. I mean, to see that he's not coming back for the third time seems more. I mean, he's been our favorite trickster. So, moving on. The Hulk is sent through the Bifrost back to Earth, where he landed to Doctor Strange's house. Doctor Strange, with his psychic wand, were talking about normal things until BAM! The Hulk crashes to the stairs and returns back to Bruce Banner. I kind of like this part because this is where Doctor Strange first meets Bruce Banner for the first time. Both doctors. So we see Tony Stark and Pepper Potts talking about the wedding, which technically still continues on from Tony's proposal from Spider-Man's Homecoming, and also he wants some children. Looks like Tony finally decided to will settle down. But then, Doctor Strange, well, I don't remember much of the movie, but I'm pretty sure he was summoned by Doctor Strange to talk about something about the threat of Thanos, and also I like how the part when Bruce and Tony meet for the first time in 2 years. Like, it's also the very first time the two science bros reunited, since Tony's looking at a bit of reality for all the, So after reuniting for after 2 years, Doctor Strange and Wa explained to Tony and Bruce about the Infinity Stones, their purpose on what their powers, and how Thanos, if he reunites them, he could destroy the universe. So it was Bruce who told Tony about Thanos, about everything was happening so far for the last 6 years. But however, Tony was seemed to be taking this very casually, but it turns out deep down he's actually scared. He actually found out the one who actually been behind this mess, the one who's been traumatizing him. This is because Tony was been haunted by that nightmare vision that Scarlet Witch gave him, and also not to mention what how you call it, the PTSD. Yeah, that's what I call PTSD, and also other things like, well, I guess there's nothing more. The fight scene was cool. This is where I saw Tony use his new armor. It feels very different from the other previous Mark armors. Like this one feels futuristic. Like he doesn't need the the arm blaster that makes the humming sound. But I guess we'll miss it. But maybe he'll have it again. I also I also feel this fight was also good. Not to mention now that Peter Parker has entered the battle. And the other one thing I criticize is about this is that Bruce and Peter don't actually meet. Like in the trailer, Spider-Man meets Doctor Strange. He goes like, "Hi, I'm Peter Parker." "Oh, I'm Doctor Strange." But it could have been better if Peter would have saw Bruce. He would say, "Hi, you must be the Hulk. I'm Peter Parker. I'm Bruce Banner. Oh, we're doing names. I'm Spider-Man. I'm the Hulk." But of course, it didn't happen, or maybe it did happen in a deleted scene. But we're gonna find out. I also like the interaction between Bruce and Wong, like since from the first time they met in the sanctum, and how they ended up concluded with he disappearing, and also Bruce decided to use Tony's phone to call Steven about to talk about the situation. That's that. So we moved on from Earth into the Guardians of the Galaxy. I like how they got intro, and also how they found Thor. The one that where Rocket says wipe it," was actually very funny. So I like how the interaction and how Thor learned from Gamora that Thanos who he is and what his intentions were. So I decided to go after her, but Thor realized that he needs to get the hammer, so he has to go to this place called the Dying Star, which is Nivea or something, with Rocket and Groot accompanying him. I like it how Thor got his new hammer and how it was created and how they named it Stormbreaker. It was a very cool scene with the Avengers music, and I like it how Rocket and Groot were on by it. I also like Thor's new hammer and how Groot sacrificed his arm to create the handle for it, and how Rocket was on by it. So we move on to the Battle of Wakanda, where they're all prepared for battle and everything. And also, oh yeah, and also I want to talk about Bruce and Natasha. Since for Natasha reaction, it was actually like he seen a she seen a ghost, and Bruce was like, "Hi," like I was hoping that Natasha will come in and probably hit him for leaving, but I guess it didn't happen. But I guess they likely love each other. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to end it here. I'll be back with the other half. So watch.
A friend called me a furball once, but he was my friend.